Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of great stone of the well, and the Arkham tribe, the four corners of the earth, this Brother Nash DC Camp, with another lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, it's another lesson, another teachable moment to let you know about this world, man, the curses, man, is heavy upon our people, and our people don't understand that, until they accept the reality of things, the reality that Lord Yahweh Asari has dropped, or dropped on our nation. They're gonna be, groping around in darkness. So this is the so-called video, so-called what's it, dash cam, body cam, about the so-called police shooting in Waukegan, Illinois. I heard about the two jakes that got shot, the man and the woman. Yeah, so it just proves that our people, man, they just don't understand that you don't have time to be running around, man, thinking you're gonna get away from the enemy. Just like that, only the Lord Yahweh Shai could get you out of the hands of the enemy. All right. So I'm gonna play the video real quick, and then you have an idea of what happened.
And we now have a clearer picture of what led to that fatal police shooting of an unarmed man.
Yeah, the city did release 5 videos of what happened, but there is one very important, critical piece of evidence that's missing. And WGN's Mike Lowe is live at State Police Headquarters in Des Plaines with more details. Mike.
And good evening to both of you. 19-year-old Marcellus Stinnett was shot and killed by police. His girlfriend, 20-year-old Tafara Williams, was wounded. The officer who fired those shots did not have his body camera on at the time of the shooting. Today, the Waukegan mayor released several videos that showed what happened just before and after the shots were fired. Tafara Williams and her boyfriend Marcellus Stinnett say they had gone out to have a cigarette in their car last Tuesday. Police say they approached the car because it was suspicious. This is the initial stop.
You're Marcellus, right?
Yeah, for what?
Yeah, you're under arrest, man.
Why?
Because I said. No, dude. Hey, come on, show me the hands, pal. I ain't playing with you because I know you. Marcellus, you're under arrest. Because you got a warrant. I got Marcellus.
Yeah, so that's that's Esau's system, man. Once Esau, pulls the Jake over and lets Jake know that he's got a warrant, how you gonna fight it? Yeah, so and you know how the system is your word against his word, and the system would rather go with the cops. The cops' side of the story because they don't want to pay any, they don't want to pay any money out. And that's how the system is. They believe it's cheaper to side with the cops than to side with the people, even when the cop was wrong, and then they don't really have the evidence to show. They rather side with the cop, and that's the reason why a lot of judges are going to get it in the last days. And these so-called council members, sheriffs, deputy, it's just, the situation we got to deal with. So I'm going to read from the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. It tells you, that all you got to do is just, comply, man. When they say you're under arrest, put your hands behind your back. Yeah, you just have to do that, man, because you're more you're valuable alive doing the work of the Lord, by Shimei Shah while you can, than to be sitting behind bars and not being able to do what you need to do. You can't really edify the hopeful elect, while you're behind bars. It's very, very slim chance to find the elect behind bars, in these last days, man. But all right, I'm going to read Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. So it clearly tells you, agree with an adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him. All right, so you told the husband and the wife the situation of the matter. But what did she do? You're going to figure out in a few All right. It says, lest at any time the adversary is delivered you to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. All right. Then verse 26 says, verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. And they paid, you know, paid. The man paid with his life. The woman paid with bodily injuries and all the trauma, you know, and the child's also going to pay the price to do with family members, you know, and that's the problem, you know, with our people, man. They don't understand that the Lord Yahweh Shai, his judgment and his mercies are not something to joke around with. And that's the reason why, you know, we have to be more careful in these last days, man. You know, you fall, you have to get back up, but just don't stay there and, you know, rolling around in the vomit. All right?
Record. That's recording too. Marcellus, you're under arrest, pal.
Then, as the officer is attempting to arrest Stinnett on a warrant, Williams peels away.
You didn't come out. Hey! Hey, they just ran me over. It's Tafara Williams driving, and she's got Marcellus E. Stinnett in the front passenger.
The dashboard camera from another Waukegan police officer.
Yep. So that's the problem with with Jake, you know, in the hood, man. That don't want to hearken unto the words of the Lord Yahweh Shai. You know, with all the churches and all the different corners, you know, with all the lessons that the brother's been putting online, Jake don't want to listen. They just think that you know, that being hard is the solution to them getting out of trouble, getting out of captivity. No, man, it's not. Even in Nigeria too, man, it's terrible. You know, the cops over there are even terrible than the cops over here in America, man. Yeah, for those that experienced that, you know, interaction with police over there, it's not a joke. All right. So just imagine, just imagine, you know. So you just gotta pray, Lord, about Shema Shai, you know, gives you that spirit and the wisdom to just understand the situation you're in, and to you know, keep your peace, man. Keep your peace. You don't have to get angry and upset. You just have to absorb the sorrows, you know, drink the bitter cup. All right, because the Lord Yahweh Shai had to deal, you know, with the frustration and anger of his people when he saw that they were being oppressed by the Romans and by his own people too. You know, the so-called Sadducees and Pharisees and scribes and the zealots. You know, always trying to force something to happen. All right. So that's the reason why the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is letting us know, man. Brothers just got to take a chill pill. Just keep it, you know, try to be as civil as possible. Because you don't want to cause any trauma, you know, to the ministry. All right.
Shows the pursuit. Williams, who was behind the wheel, swerves into a pole. The car then backs up as the officer fires about a half dozen shots. A crash is heard as the car backs up into a building. When the officer turns his camera on, Tafara Williams is heard screaming, "I didn't do anything wrong."
I was right behind you. You almost tried to run me over.
Once the shooting police officer.
Yep, that's something you have to take into account, man. You know, this captivity that we're in is not a joke, all right? So we have to understand that the Lord is not playing around. The Lord is serious, all right? So I'm going to read from the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17. Verse 12. So it says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth. And that's what happens when you make a decision based on fear. You know, you end up making a big mess. And that's exactly what happens here. That's why the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, you've read the book of Timothy, all right? I'll read it to you. Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For the Mosiah had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. All right, so the Edomite cup clearly told both of them the situation at hand. But what did the black woman do? What did the Judite woman do? She was in the driver's seat and she took off, man. So she just create another problem, man. You know, and according to the so-called account from the police department, it seems accurate. But how can they prove them wrong in the courtroom? That's right. You just have to evaluate, look at your life, and understand what it really, really takes, man, to keep it intact and to make sure that you do what is necessary, to serve the Lord. All right. And then verse 13 says, and the expectation from within being less counted the ignorance more than the cause which bring it the torment. All right, so that's what it means, man. People can't judge correctly. You can't just run away from the situation when you have to deal with it now and then. All right, and I read one more time. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 13. And the expectation from within being less counted the ignorance more than the cause which bring out the torment. So that's what happens when our people misjudge the situation, man. They end up getting jacked up. Alright? They end up getting jacked up. That's why the Lord Yahbashim Ashai Bashim Kwakadash has to deliver us from Babylon, man. Yep, so that's the situation you have to be aware of, man. You don't want to be caught up in this madness of a society, man. So right now, stuff is just that's her right there, man. That's why the woman is the weaker vessel. That's the issue with our people. When the woman is in charge, things are very, very likely to go sideways. All right. So I don't even want to play what she got to say. It's just gonna, make brothers much more angrier. All right. So it's not really about the woman itself, but it's just that our people, man. They lack focus. They lack focus. To count the cost, to make a proper judgment when it comes to life and death issues. In a situation like this, you can't beat the cops in this system. You have to be spiritual, all right? It's not a physical battle, all right? So I'm going to read from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. And it reads, the Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Yep, and that's what's going on with our people, man. You can't be angry and think you're gonna defeat Esau. You can't, man. You can't. He's been blessed with a sword to do whatever he wants to do, however the situation presents itself. All right, but when you don't, when folks always make the incorrect decision, they find themselves, 10 times out of 10, facing bigger problems. That's why it's very, very necessary. Our people, return unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Kodash. All right, and then verse 29 says, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. All right, so Just imagine the cop, they say the cop got fired because he didn't follow procedures. But hey, that's what happens, man. The Most High brings judgment to get people. That's like you hear about using one stone to get three birds. But let's use one stone to get as many birds as he can. All right. So when you read the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 27 to 28, it tells you that what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. Matthew chapter 10, verse 27. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And that's what the Lord Yahweh is letting us know. All right, it's giving us wisdom that we should be able to preach to our people and to let them know what they have to do to make it, all right, to the kingdom. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. All right, even though she made a serious mistake, she shouldn't have done that. But you know how it is, man. Folks think that that doing wrong basically means they're gonna be exempted, but not. You can't. So she basically caused the situation to go sideways, and the Lord the Lord let the worst of all situations come in there. And when folks have faith and fear the Lord, they understand what needs to be done. All right, so she's basically destroyed, man. Her mind is destroyed, based on what she just did. She's got gunshot wounds and all that. So it's just terrible, man. That's why you gotta pray to Lord Yahweh Shai that you don't find yourself in such predicaments. And if you do, you just have to pray that you don't fold, man. You don't fold and go with your feelings. You have to go with the spirit of Amashak Yahushua by Hashem Kadash. So another precept is going to be from the book of Sirach. All right, book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. And that's the situation here, man. The Spirit of the Lord Yahweh put on the Edomite cup that let those shots go. That's not a joke, man. For someone to pick up a weapon, and just point it at someone and decide to shoot, that's the ultimate. That's a final. That's a lethal solution, man, right there. That's the end of the matter right there. No more discussions. All right, and that's exactly what happened, man. That was a spirit of wrath, a spirit of vengeance, and that's how it's not the first time, man. That cops have killed people for trying to move away from them in the vehicle or moving towards them in a vehicle. It's happened, so don't be surprised that it happens again. All right, that's why the Lord Yahweh Shai wants us to be steadfast in His word, so that way He can cover us with His Spirit and guide us through these difficult times, man. All right. So this one's going to be a final precept from the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 12. It says, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee, if thou shalt miscarry. So when you know that you're sitting next to a brother that's driving a vehicle and the cops pull you over, you have to know that, man. You don't have to worry that the brother's gonna pull off. You know, you have that's a surety right there. It's no worries. You know the brother's not gonna get out of line, and that's the beautiful thing about going around with the man of the Lord. You already know it's gonna hold hold fast onto the words of the Lord, the Abashim Shai. You know, whatever documentation the officer asks, he's gonna provide it. You know, and that's it. You know, the man of the Lord is not gonna have time to be arguing back and forth, with his cops, because he's been versed according to the will of Hamashiach Yahushai to let the cop have it. This is a system, just like the Lord Yahushai, was telling Pontius Pilate that this is not his kingdom, and this is not our kingdom. So what's the use of us trying to pick up arms and go against Esau, man? So verse that's the point that I can just have to understand, man, that our people need to take things seriously, man, when it comes to serving the Lord, and stop trying to think that you could think your way out of it. You can't think your way out of it. On the Lord there by Shema Shai can give it a solution. All right, so that was the point that I pray you've been edified. I pray that wherever your situation you find yourself, man, it's always good to take your L's and just take a bow, man. Eat the humble pie and understand that you have nothing to gain by arguing with the folks of this world. You just have to learn to be at peace with your enemy so you can move on to what's necessary. All right, Shalom.